As you know, the debate over how to reform the immigration system here in our country has dominated political conversations for months, if not years. In CBS Texas, we've reported on the record number of migrants that we've seen crossing at the southern border. Many of them have one goal, though, to seek asylum. And new tonight, our Ken Molestina is breaking down that very complicated process, telling us why everyone doesn't qualify.
Well, put simply, asylum is a way for people in fear for their lives to seek safety in another country. The right to seek asylum was first enshrined by the UN General Assembly in 1948. It was later also written into federal law by the U.S. in the Refugee Act of 1980. And while the right to seek asylum is law, it's not a simple process. To apply, you have to show up on U.S. soil. Asylum seekers can only file an application if they are physically present in the United States. But not everyone who wants to flee their home country is actually eligible for asylum under U.S. law. In fact, there are only 5 categories that asylum seekers can file for. The person has to fear persecution due to race, religion, nationality, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion.
Individuals may be coming here saying, I want a better future. The situation in my hometown is scary. Sometimes we have to break the news where the situation in your home country may be bad, but if there wasn't something specifically that happened to that individual that falls under one of the 5 categories, they might not be eligible for asylum.
After entering the country, attorney Priscilla Wilcox-Steele tells us the next step for a migrant seeking asylum is to go through what is called a credible fear interview. This is where federal immigration agents ask questions to determine whether they believe there's a reasonable chance the migrant will be persecuted if they return to the country they're fleeing. If the migrant crosses that threshold, they're allowed to enter the country and are given a year to submit an asylum application. They're also given a court date.
Now, what's ended up happening is these immigration court cases are very, very backlogged. So someone might enter today and they have 1 year from today to submit their asylum application with the immigration court. However, their hearing might not be till 2025 or 2026.
But 2028, I've heard in some cases.
Yes, absolutely. We have seen some situations where the hearings are just scheduled way far in the future because of this backlog.
So it can take years for an asylum seeker to get their day in court, and that long-awaited day oftentimes ends in disappointment.
A very small percentage of individuals actually have an asylum claim granted. It's very hard. You have to testify, you have to provide proof, you may have to have witnesses who testify in your individual hearing in the future.
Just how many asylum claims are denied? Syracuse University keeps track of asylum decisions in all of the United States immigration courts. From October 2000 through February 2024, they've counted more than 786,000 asylum cases. Of those, more than half, 443,000, have been denied. If an asylum seeker case is denied, they can appeal. They have 30 days to do that, but it could take another year or 2 for the Board of Immigration Appeals to decide to either review the case or agree with the original decision.
Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that the person has a removal order immediately. They might be given a voluntary departure. So the judge may say, you know, I am denying this asylum claim. However, I'm going to give you the opportunity to have a voluntary departure.
The maximum time a judge can give a migrant to depart is 120 days.
They might say, I will give you the full time, I will give you 30 days to voluntarily depart.
The bottom line here is that in reality, none of this happens quickly or overnight.
Absolutely not.
This is a lengthy process.
Absolutely. These are long fought, drawn out cases. There is just so many people on the EOIR dockets and unfortunately not that many judges to be able to handle the volume.
I'm Ken Molestina, CBS News, Texas.